for you.
Okay, so I will read exactly what Mr Latimer has asked me to read to the committee. And it's a response to the Commission reply of the 31st of October 2018. The Commission relies on details of spills supplied by DEFRA Environment Agency Northumbria Water Limited, i.e. 298,380 cubic metres or 298,380 tonnes in 8 months during 2018. This data, although alarming, must be challenged. It's claimed that such discharges resulted from snowmelt or heavy rainfall, but there's no evidence of that. In 2018, it was one of the driest on record in our region. This is at least 10% below average in our area, and snowfall was only 6 to 10 centimetres over 5 days. It seems to have been overlooked that the very purpose of the Whitburn system was to meet the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive and handle extreme events without discharges to sea. There have been two important changes to the recording of data and the consents, which mean that figures such as those given by the Commission cannot be believed. One is that it's claimed that in the 2010 study on Whitburn Steel LSO spill discharge flows, that spills of less than 30 minutes will be set as no spill. Considering the Whitburn pumping station discharges at a rate of 3 cubic metres a second, a spill of 25 minutes would result in 4,500 cubic metres, 4,500 tonnes of untreated discharge being unrecorded. Second is the wording from the UK's response to the Commission's reasoned opinion, which states, and I quote, "If rain is predicted, Northumbria Water Limited will empty the tank down to 2,000 cubic metres. The tank contains 7,000 cubic metres before an automatic discharge takes place, which means 4,500 cubic metres or tonnes can be discharged in less than 30 minutes, so again will be unrecorded. Our experience is that there are far more discharges than those recorded, and the consequence is the constant presence of sewage debris on the beach and in coastal waters. Remedial works, as demanded by the Court of Justice, have been minimal, as follows. 1. A brick dam was built in the interceptor tunnel in an attempt to hold back the flows. 2. The judgment stated that the existing storm interceptor tunnel capacity should be increased. This hasn't been done. An additional storage tank was connected to the FOUL system, but not for storms. 3. Macerator pumps were fitted to the pumping stations. These ensure that sewage debris is chopped up so fine it's hard to identify, and yet plastic sanitary items, for example, still manage to squeeze through and reveal where the sewage is locally, showing why the sea life in the rock pools is dying. Evidence was given to the Commission at the time of the court case, which was not presented by them in court, and much of the information which was used was totally incorrect. This has led to inadequate improvements in an inadequate system which cannot treat the sewage from an increasing population and so discharges into the sea directly. Although the Commission does not have any investigative powers of its own, it can't just depend upon data supplied by the offender, but must seek independent evidence. Otherwise, the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive is worthless and open to interpretation. Had the Commission challenged the information during the court case, I wouldn't have to present this evidence to the Petitions Committee today. Finally, it's now imperative that a fully comprehensive, independent, scrutinised review of the structure of the sewage system is undertaken to ensure that not only is the system fit for purpose, but also that there is enough capacity for the additional 5,000 houses that are currently being proposed. It's not true, as the Commission states, that this is only a matter for national provision. The case was decided by the European Court of Justice, and the requirements for improvement were made by them. There have been no such improvements, and the system continues to breach the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive, as does the Sunderland system, which doesn't treat all sewage flows. That's the statement from Robert Latimer that he would have delivered had he been able to be in the committee himself this afternoon.